because whenever you talk, whenever you use the word stress to anyone, he will feel something negative, and he will prepare himself or herself that okay, some negative comments or some negative things is to come from the other person. Okay, because we always take the stress in a negative sense, but stress is not always negative. Stress is positive also, and when the stress is positive, it helps us in our life, and basically it's a stress which drives us to do something useful and meaningful. Because if a little bit stress is not there, we will not be able to do anything. So little bit stress is really necessary, and it drives us to do something meaningful. But obviously if it becomes a problem, then we are in a great soup. Okay, so definitely it's positive as well as negative also, and we cannot neglect the positive aspect and we cannot neglect the negative aspect. But mostly today we'll be talking about the negative aspect, because the topic is stress management, that if it goes beyond a limit, then how we have to manage it. So the one thing is that it is positive and negative, and the other thing is, that's the second sentence, that we also know that the stress affects both our emotional as well as the physical well-being, and its negative effects can do us grave harm. And it is also true, and it is also we also need to know that basically the stress doesn't affect us only the emotionally, it affects us the physically also. So it means it has both emotional as well as the physical effects on our body, or on us rather I should say. The other one is that because of this reason that it has a negative aspect also, we need to learn that how we can control it and how we should mitigate it. What are the ways to mitigate the stress so that we can lead a uh, useful life, or we can lead a meaningful life. Okay, or we can lead a worthful life. So with this, I think the set has been the pace has been set, that what is a stress, not what is a stress, basically that stress has both positive as well as the negative aspect, and it affects emotionally as well as the physically also, and that is why we need to control it. Okay, so now I just go to that what will be the overview, what we'll be discussing today in 1 hour. So obviously the first is that we need to know that what is stress. We say that is stress management. So first we should know what a stress is. So first is what is stress. Then we will discuss about the effects of the chronic stress. Then we will discuss about the signs and the symptoms of stress overload. Further, the causes of stress, the prime stresses, how much stress is too much, how we can bear and when it becomes a problem, improving the ability to handle stress, and coping with the stress, a practical advice. Okay, so now we just start one by one. So obviously the first thing is that what is stress. So stress is a body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. So whenever we face any kind of demand or threat, then body responds to it. It means the demand and the threat. So whatever is the body's response to this, that is basically known as a stress. So the definition is very simple, and this is such a definition that it's given in almost all the books, or every article discuss it. So I can say that this one line definition is widely acclaimed definition, and people have accepted it. When the body senses a real or imagined danger, its defense system kicks into a higher gear, into a rapid and automatic process known as a fight or the flight reaction, or also known as a stress response. So whenever there is any demand or threat, so a body comes into stress, and the response of the body is that it kicks basically our defense system automatically and very rapidly. Okay, and it goes into the fight or the flight mode. So what is this fight or flight mode? Okay, so this is a little bit biological, but we all will be able to understand, not much biology. When we feel threatened, what is basically the fight and the flight response? So that is written here, you can say it's a definition of this. So when we feel threatened, our nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rose the body for the emergency action. So a lot of things happens, and it releases some hormones, and the two major hormones which are written here is the adrenaline and the cortisol, and they basically gear the body to rise up and take some action for the emergency. So for the emergency action, what happens in this? Our heart pounds faster, the muscles tighten, blood pressure rises, breath quickens, and our senses become sharper. These physical changes increase our strength and stamina. So why all this happens? Because why body reacts in this way? Because these physical changes increase our strength and stamina, speed up our reaction time, and enhances our focus, preparing us to either fight or flee from the danger at hand. So all these things basically prepare us that we have to fight if it's possible, or otherwise we have to run away from the danger. So that is why this is known as a fight and flight response. So basically the body hormones prepare us to fight or flee. Stress helps us to rise and face the challenges. However, beyond a certain point, it stops being helpful and starts causing major damage to our health, mood, productivity, relationship, and quality of life. So, if you just see this last part of the sentence, so you will feel that there is hardly any aspect of our life which is not written here. So it affects each and everything: our health, mood, productivity, relationship, and as a whole the quality of life, if it goes beyond a certain limit. Okay, so the first sentence is that obviously the stress helps us to rise and face the challenges. As I told you earlier, that if we do not have a little bit of stress, probably will not be doing anything meaningful. The effect of the chronic stress. So if the stress becomes chronic, then what is its effect? Okay, so our nervous system is not very good at distinguishing between the emotional and the physical threat. Our body, or body means basically the nervous system, so our nervous system is not able to distinguish whether the threat is the emotional or whether it's a physical. In both the cases the reaction is same. And what is the reaction? Our body reacts as strongly as if we are facing a true life or the death situation when we are highly stressed. So when we are stressed, or when we are at the high stress, when the stress is high, then the body reacts as if we are having a do or die or life or death situation in front of us. The more our emergency stress system, this line is really important, the more our emergency stress system is activated, the easier it becomes to trigger, making it harder to shut off. So if suppose we are aroused by any stress, or our stress level is high, then it becomes very easy to trigger. It means basically the emergency response or the stress, so it becomes very easy to trigger. And when it becomes very easy to trigger, then it becomes hard to shut off. It simply means that if we are regularly into the stress, our body becomes accustomed to it, and it becomes very easy to put us into the stress, and usually it doesn't go off very easily. So the more we are into the stress, the more we are in the more problem, because the problem will not subside very easily, and it will be very easy that with a slight provocation we will come into a high stress. So this line is really important and you should read it carefully. If we tend to get stressed out frequently, okay, our body may exist in a heightened state of the stress most of the time. And if on a slight provocation we get stressed, so it means frequently we will be stressed. And if we get the frequent stress, then our body will be mostly in the heightened state or the high impedance state because of the stress. Okay, and it may lead to serious health problem. And if our body is always in the high impedance state because of the stress, so it may lead to a very serious health problems. And what those health problems may be: the chronic stress disrupts nearly every system in our body. It can suppress our immune system, and you can just understand what is the meaning of this, because if our immune system is suppressed, it is not working in a proper way, then with a slight of the infection, either bacterial or virus, we may get ill. upset our digestive and reproductive systems, increase the risk of the heart attack and the stroke, and speed up the aging process. It can even rewire the brain, leaving us more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and the other mental health problems. So you can just see that if our body is always in a regular stressed, our body is always regularly stressed, then what type of the problems we may have? We may not have only the health problems, physical health problems, but rather we will have the mental health problems also. So it affects us the mentally as well as physically in both ways. So we have to be very careful. Okay. Then on this slide, it just portrays that what type of the major problems we have. So the major health problems caused or aggravated means the stress either causes this problem, or if we are already having this problem, it aggravates its severity. Okay, so this is written here, and obviously this is not an exhaustive list. This is few I have written. This list you can increase on your own if you wish. So depression, and there is no ordering also. I have just written it. There is no ordering. Depression and anxiety, pain of any kind, sleep problems, autoimmune diseases, digestive problems, skin conditions, heart diseases, weight problems, reproductive issue, and thinking and memory problems. So if we are always stressed, then these type of the physical and mental health problems usually ingress us. Then we just move on and we come to the signs and symptoms of stress overload. That what happens if we are overloaded by the stress. So the most dangerous aspect of stress is that it easily creep up and we get used to it. So the most often what happens is that we come into stress, and usually we don't notice it that we are stressed. Okay, it starts to feel familiar and even normal, and suppose if we are regularly in that state, so we feel that as if it's basically a normal thing, and this is basically the normal. As nowadays what we are saying, that whatever is the current scenario because of the COVID, now this is a new normal. So basically what we are saying, that this is not normal in general. Okay, but in the present scenario you consider this as a normal. Okay, so the same thing is here. Then when we are already, we are almost always stressed, so we get accustomed to it and we feel as if it's a normal, and we become very much familiar to it. But even if we become familiar to it, and it feels to us as if we are normal, it does not mean that it doesn't create a problem to your body and mental health. Even if we don't feel it, but it creates problem mentally as well as physical health also. So we do not notice how much it's affecting us, even as it takes a heavy toll. Okay, that is what I was saying. That's why it is important to be aware of the common warning signs and the symptoms of the stress overload. So these are the symptoms. If someone is facing it, then he or she must realize that he or she is in stress and must take care of the stress. Okay, what are these? The cognitive symptoms, emotional symptoms, physical symptoms, and the behavioral symptoms. So in the cognitive symptoms, we have the memory problem. Cognitive, as the name indicates, related to the cognition. So all which are related to the mental, that all are there. So memory problems, inability to concentrate, the poor judgment, seeing ability, seeing only the negative. You always think only the negative things, anxious and the racing thoughts, and the constant worrying. So all the problems which are related because of the cognition. So that is here. Then emotional symptoms, depression or general unhappiness, anxiety and agitation, moodiness, irritability or anger, feeling overwhelmed, loneliness and isolation, and other mental or emotional health problems. The physical symptoms uh, that may associate with the stress is the aches and the pains, diarrhea or the constipation, nausea, dizziness, chest pain, rapid heart rate, loss of the sex drive, frequent colds or flu. And the behavioral symptoms which warn us of the stress is eating more or less, sleeping too much or too little, withdrawing from others, that is usually known as a withdrawal syndrome, procrastinating or neglecting responsibilities, using alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs to relax, and nervous habit. For example, the pacing or the nail biting, etc. So, if anyone is facing some such symptoms, then he or she should be aware of that probably he or she is in a heavy stress and something must be done to take care of or to mitigate the stress. Then we are discussing here that what causes the stress, what are the causes of the stress. Here again probably it may be new to some, because we usually feel that something negative or something bad will put stress on us, but it is not necessary. Sometimes even the good things also put stress on us. Okay, so good as well as good as well as bad, both the things or both the reasons may cause the stress. So the same thing is written here in the first paragraph. The situations and the pressures that cause stressors are sorry that cause stress are known as stressors. So basically it's just a definition of a stressor. So stressor means basically the cause or the reason of a stress. So anything which causes stress is known as a stressor, so reason of a stress. We usually think of the stressors as being negative. For example, an exhausting work schedule or a strained relationship. However, it means but anything that puts high demands on us can be stressful, even if that is positive. It includes the positive events also. For example, getting married, buying a house, going to college, getting a promotion. Even all these things also may put a stress on you, and you may be in the trouble. However, not all stress is caused by the external factors, because what's written here is if you just read each and everything one by one carefully, so you will feel that as if there are some external factors which create a trouble to us. But it is not so that only the external factors are responsible for the cause of the stress or they are the cause of the stress, but basically the cause of the stress may be internal or the self-generated also. So the same is written here that it can also be internal or the self-generated. Finally, what causes stress depends on our perception of it. That whatever the cause is there or whatever the stressor is there, how we handle it, how we perceive it, a lot depends on this also. So something that is stressful to one may not be disturbing to someone else. So it is written here that a one particular stressor or one aspect or one cause may create a trouble for one person, but the same thing may not be disturbing to someone else. Even on the contrary, there are few people who may enjoy it. Okay, so basically it all depends on the perception also. So the main important things in this slide is that the most important thing is the perception, and not only the bad but the good things also may create stress, and the causes of the stress are not always the external, but they may be internal or the self-generated also. So just to make the things more clear, I have written here two paragraphs which tells us about the external causes and the internal causes. And obviously, again, I will say the same thing that this is not an exhaustive list. These are just few, and you can add on your own if you read something meaningful. So the external causes of the stress or the external stresses are the major life changes. Because of any reason, if there is a major change in the life, it creates a stress, or work or the school, relationship difficulties, financial problems, being too busy, and children and family. Okay, and the internal reasons or the internal causes of the stress may be the pessimism, inability to accept the uncertainty, rigid thinking means lack of flexibility, negative self-talk. Some persons usually talk negative about themselves, they do not have any confidence in them. unrealistic expectations and perfectionism, and all or nothing attitude. So these are the internal causes of the stress, and these are the external causes of the stress. Few only you may add. Then the prime stressors. Now we just move on forward to discuss that what are the prime reasons of the stressors. Again, here I will say that this is not an exhaustive list. I collected this as per my experience and whatever I read basically in the magazines and articles. Probably there may be some more reasons also. So some common sources of the stress which I have written here is the stress at work. Okay, while some workplace stress is normal, obviously always there is stress at the workplace, but if it is less, it's okay, it's normal. Excessive stress can interfere with the productivity and performance, impact physical and emotional health, and affect relationships at home, relationships and home life. It can also even determine the difference between the success and failure of the job. So if you feel too much stress at the workplace, so you can just imagine that how much problematic it will be. It not only uh, give a bad effect to the productivity and the performance at the workplace, but it also creates mental and the physical health problem. It may also affect our relationship and our home life. And obviously, if these things are affected in a bad way, then our success and the failure in the job will also be at the stake because of the workplace stress. So, though the little bit stress is okay, it is normal, but stress should not be too much because it can create a big hurdle and it may make a major difference in our success and failure in the job. Job loss and unemployment stress. Losing a job is one of the life's most stressful experience. Obviously, at our age, probably no one must have felt it, but obviously, you can imagine it very easily that losing a job means basically the losing a means of the livelihood. So, how much stressful it will be? Probably it is the most stressful experience, and God forbid no one should uh, feel it in his or her life. So it's a more stressful experience. It is normal to feel angry. Obviously, when someone loses his job, in that case, it is normal to feel angry, hurt, or depressed, grieved for the loss, or feel anxious about the future. It brings a lot of changes at once. Obviously, the loss of job brings a lot of changes at once, means suddenly, okay, which can shake the sense of the purpose and the self-esteem. People may go into a very deep stream because of deep stress because of this job loss or the unemployment. So these two are the two different things. The job loss means the person was in job and he lost the job because of any reason, like in COVID many people have lost their job. And the unemployment means that the people the person is waiting for the job and he has not got the job and he is unemployed. So these two are different, not the same thing. The financial stress. So the financial stress, please do not relate it to the job loss or the unemployment. Obviously, it may be related, but it may be in general also. So I am talking in general. The financial stress may be, or the financial problem or financial crunch may come because of any reason, not only because of the job loss. So the problem, I mean the financial stress, the problems stem from a loss of work, escalating debt, unexpected expenses, or a combination of factors which are written here. Financial worry is one of the most common stresses in the modern life. We all know that nothing can be done without the finance. This is the topmost priority of any family, any individual, any society, any government, or anything. So nothing can be done without the proper finances. So obviously, this is a very biggest problem, and there may be various reasons for the financial stress. Some or few are written here. It may be either of this or it may be a combination of this, but in any way this is a very tough thing, or it's a very tough stress to fight with. The grief and loss. Coping with the loss of someone or something is one of the life's biggest stressor. So basically, we are talking of a death affair. That suppose if you love someone and he died, or suppose if you love something, not the person or some object, but some other non-living object, something, and suppose it goes away from you anyhow. So it creates basically a lot of a stress. So if you lose someone or some loved one or something which is dear to you, then it creates basically a very big stress. Often the pain and stress of the loss can feel you overwhelming. The one may experience all kinds of difficult and unexpected emotions, from the shock or anger to disbelief, guilt, and the profound sadness. So this is really a very heavy toll. Then how much stress is too much? So we just now discuss in two slides that what are the major causes of the stress. Okay. Then we just discuss here that what is really too much. Okay. So because of the widespread damage stress can cause, it's important to know our own limit. Okay. So how much we can bear and how much we cannot bear, what will trouble us and what may not trouble us. So we all must know our limit, and definitely it basically varies individual to individual. So the same is written here. However, how much stress is too much differ from person to person. Some people seem to be able to roll with the life's punches, while the others tend to crumble in the face of the small obstacles or the frustrations. Some people even thrive on the excitement of a high stressful life or high stress lifestyle. Okay, so there are variety of peoples in this world, and there are few. If a little bit problem comes, there's just shutter. There are few who are able to go through, and there are few they enjoy these things. That okay, let us see, let us learn something. So variety of people are there. So the factors that influence our stress tolerance levels are as follows: support network. A strong network of the supportive friends and family members is an enormous buffer against the stress. So obviously we all enjoy a very good family, friends, etc., and we all have experienced it that friends and family, they are very good stress busters. So when we have the people we can count on, the life's pressure don't seem as overwhelming. On the flip side, the lonelier and the more isolated one is, the greater one's risk of the succumbing to the stress is. So if suppose you are lonelier or you are isolated, then you are at the more risk because of the stress. And if you have the people on whom you can count on, then they are the very good stress busters. So a support network is very good, and it depends that what type of support network you have and what type of your personality is. Accordingly the support network will work. The sense of control: if we have the confidence in ourselves and our abilities to influence events and persevere through challenges. Persevere means uh, tackling the going through the issues, tackling the problems. So even if the problems are there, we are not too much bothered by that, and we are handling the problems and we get the job done. So that is basically the preservance. So if we have high confidence in ourselves and our abilities to influence events and persevere through challenges, it's easier to take stress. So the simple meaning of this particular sentence is that if we are confident, if we have confidence, and we have the abilities that okay, we can influence the scenario and we can get the things done, then obviously we can take or we can handle the stress in an easy way than the other person. On the other hand, if we believe that we have a little control over our life, that what is the meaning of it, that we have a little control over life means we think that we are at the mercy of the environment and the circumstances, then stress is more likely to knock at our door. Okay. Then attitude and the outlook: the way we look at life and its inevitable challenges make a huge difference in our abilities to handle stress. So again, it comes basically the perception that how we perceive the life. Okay, what we expect from the life, and we all know that life always gives a lot of surprises, so that is written here, and its inevitable challenges makes a huge difference in our abilities to handle stress. So what is our attitude and what is our outlook towards the things, towards the life, it makes a big difference that how much we can take. If we are generally hopeful and optimistic, we will be less vulnerable. Stress hardy people tend to embrace challenges. In stress hardy means those who are not very much bothered about the stresses, small stresses basically. So they tend to embrace challenges, have a stronger sense of humor, believe in a higher purpose, and accept change as an inevitable part of the life. Means the stress hardy people are the people those who are very uh, uh, those who go for the happy living, and the small or slight perturbation in the life or challenges doesn't disturb them, because they have their attitude and the outlook towards life like that. Ability to deal with the emotions. If we do not know how to calm and soothe us when we are feeling sad, angry, or troubled, we are more likely to become stressed and agitated. So, obviously, we should have the control on our emotions. So, what is our control on our emotions? It tells us that how much we will be stressed and how we will be able to cope with that. Having the ability to identify and deal appropriately with our emotions can increase our tolerance to stress and help us bounce back from the adversity, as I just told you right now. Knowledge and the preparation. The more we know about a stressful situation, including how long it will last and what to expect, the easier it is to cope. So, when I say here the knowledge and the preparation, I'm not talking of the degrees, etc. Basically, what I'm talking is that if we know that what ordeal we will go through or what agony we will go through in the process, if we have some sense of it or some knowledge of it, then it will become very easier for us to handle. In the other way, suppose if we have no information or no knowledge about it, because it was little bit difficult, so I have just given a written example here. So for example, if we go into surgery with a realistic picture of what to expect post operation, a painful recovery will be less stressful than if we are expecting to bounce back immediately. So suppose if someone is going for the surgery and he or she knows that the post operation means post surgery, what is basically the recovery process, and it is not very easy, it may be a painful, it depends on the type of the operation, etc. Then in that case he or she will be easy to handle it, because already it is known to him or her that okay, these things may come, I may face these type of the troubles, so he will not be shattered by those troubles. And if he or she does not know that okay, what is this, and if the person think that he will can immediately be okay after the surgery, then the problems comes, he will be in a great trouble. So this knowledge and preparation is basically that one. Okay, then get moving. So now we are in the another thing, that is improving ability to handle stress. Okay, so how we can handle the stress? So get moving. So the first is that the get moving. Upping our activity level is a good method to help relieve stress and start to feel better. So simply the meaning of upping our activity level means if we just up our movement, our moving, our activity level, so we will feel better. So the same thing is explained here, that the regular exercise can lift our mood and serve as a distraction from the worries, allowing us to break out of the cycle of negative thoughts that feed stress. Rhythmic exercise such as the walking, running, swimming, and dancing are particularly effective. So if we are into active life, okay, we always do something, then the stress will not be there. The simple meaning is this. Connect to others. The simple act of talking face to face with another human can trigger hormones that relieve stress when we feel agitated or insecure. So this is a very common thing which most of us must have faced many a times. Even just a brief exchange of the kind words or a friendly look from the another human being can help calm and soothe our nervous system. Therefore, spending time with the loved one and a social life is must. So obviously, if we are in the stress and if we talk to someone which to whom we love or whom we like, so definitely slowly after some talking, we see that okay, our stress level has gone down. So the same thing is basically written here, that if we connect to others, if we have someone who can understand and whom we trust, and if we talk to them, then it works as a very good stress buster. Engage senses. So what is the meaning of it? We all know that we have the five senses, so that it's relates to basically that. Another fast way to relieve stress is by engaging one or more of our senses, like the sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, or the movement. The key is to find the sensory input that works for us. So suppose if someone is fond of the music, I'm talking of basically the sense sound, then obviously he or she must go for listening of this music so that it will work as a stress buster. Okay, learn to relax. We cannot completely eliminate the stress from our life. That is also very true. Okay, but we can control how much it affects us. Relaxation techniques such as yoga, meditation, and the deep breathing activate the body's relaxation response. When practiced regularly, these activities can reduce our everyday stress level and boost feelings of the joy and serenity. They also increase our ability to stay calm and collected under pressure. So what simply it is written here is that the yoga, meditation, deep breathing, etc., some such type of the activities, they make us cool and calm, and it gives a great boost that how we can manage the stress. Eat a healthy diet. So everyone talks about it. So what I have written here is that the food we eat can improve or worsen our mood and affect our ability to cope with the life stresses. Eating a diet full of the processed and convenience food, refined carbohydrates, and sugary snacks can worsen the symptoms of the stress, whereas a diet rich in the fresh food, fruit and the vegetables, high quality protein, and omega 3 fatty acids can help us better cope with the life's ups and downs. Means these things work with us, and these things basically push us into a more stressful life. We all know it very well, so there is nothing to explain here. Get rest. This is also something which everyone knows very well. Feeling tired can increase stress by causing us to think irrationally. At the same time, chronic stress can disrupt our sleep, whether we are having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep at night. There are plenty of ways to improve our sleep so that we feel less stressed and more productive and emotionally balanced. So we have to keep control of our rest and sleep. If we take the less sleep and less rest, we may be in trouble. The stress level may go high. It means that we have to take a proper rest and the proper sleep so that we are out of the stress and it works as a stress buster. Then these three, four more slides are here. And here, basically, I will be discussing a few important things. Most of things are such that you will see, or you may feel that, okay, whether these points are to discuss, these are the common sense things, or anyone knows about it. But usually it happens that the things are very general. Okay, most of the things we know, but someone must be there to remind us. Okay, so basically I'm just reminding that what is a practical way or what is the practical advice that how we can cope the stress, and the few things has come from my general experience and the few things have come from the articles, magazines, etc. Okay, so a lot of things are there, and I have not written everything in much detail, so because the things are much simpler, and you will be able to understand that what message I want to convey here. So take life easy. Most of us are afraid of taking life easy, as we feel that unless we are in a continuous state of competition and alertness, we will lag behind, and being busy is a sign of success. However, success and achievements go the opposite is true most of the time. So what I have written here is that usually we see that most of the people are always busy with their life. Okay, so what we see is that if one is very busy means he is important. He is important, to some extent he is successful. So we usually relate the success with the busyness in the life, that how the person is busy, how much important the person is. And if suppose we are not busy, then we think that we are not successful and we have not achieved anything. But what is written here is, however, success and achievements go the opposite way is true most of the times. But most of the time, the success and achievements go the opposite way. Okay, basically the one who is able to keep his cool and calm, and who can prioritize his work, gets basically more achievements than the person who thinks that multitasking is very good. A lot of other things are there. Okay, I will not go into the much detail, but simply I say that being busy, or taking life, or showing in life that I am very busy, I am very successful, doesn't make any sense. It is not, at the end you will feel that it is not going to serve any purpose. So usually the achievements and success, they both are not same, and they both go into the opposite direction. And achievement will, you will achieve the you will achieve something, or you will you will have achievements only if you are cool and calm and you prioritize your work. Okay, be realistic, accept the world as it is. A lot of the stress we experience in life is due to the fact that we sometimes expect too much from this world. We expect life to be perfect. Okay, so the second sentence, that we expect life to be perfect, it explains basically the first sentence also, and this heading also, that be realistic, accept the world as it is. Usually what we feel is that the things must be in this way. Okay, we think of a perfection. Okay, but you must realize that in this world nothing is perfect in nature. Okay, not in the society, not in the human beings, rather in nature nothing is perfect. If you define, if you think of something in a perfect way, and if you take even some aspects of the nature also, so you will see that it is not perfect. Even nature is also not perfect, that I mean to say. And obviously we are also, we all are also the creature of a nature, and we are not perfect means the nature is not perfect. It's very simple. So be realistic. Okay, so if you are uh, near to the real approach, okay, not to the perfectionist approach, then the stress will be less. Okay, so do not expect too much from others. Basically, be realistic. Everyone has some problems, everyone has some troubles, and no one is perfect. They may do some errors, etc. Okay, so be realistic. Basically, don't expect perfection from any system, any individual, or anything. Develop patience and understanding. Okay, a lot of stress in our world today is the result of our inability to understand people around us and be patient with them. We want everyone and everything to be just the way we want them to be. Okay, so what basically it says here is that we should try to understand the people instead of changing them. What usually happens is that we have we have basically a lot of perceptions. Okay, and we usually go by the perception. We think that it should happen in this way, this person should behave in this way. Okay, but obviously there is, we do not have a control over the situations, we do not have the control over the individuals or the environment. So obviously they are not going to behave the way we want. Okay, they will behave with their perception. Like I have my perception, they also have the perception, they also have the understanding. So instead of having our own prejudice or the perception or being judgmental for the others and for the environment, even rather we should try to understand the people. Okay, the more we will be able to understand the people, the more patient we will be with the people, the less stressful we will be. Okay, so that's simple meaning of the third point. Let small things be small things. Life is made up of small things and happenings for the most part, and unless we blow them out of the proportion, they remain small and do not bother us. So, here basically what I want to say is that you must have heard it many times from your elders or from some other persons, that usually what happens is that just to achieve big and be happy in a big achievement, we basically do not see that what small achievements are there, and we just forget to enjoy our achievements. So usually in Hindi people say कि बड़े की चाह में बाकी सारी चीजें हमने खो दी. So this is basically the same thing. Okay, so life is basically full of the small things and the small happenings. Okay, mostly, and very big achievements and the big things will be very less. And if we are always waiting for the big things and neglecting the small things, then we will be nowhere. So take the life as it is. Do not ignore the small things and try to take as possible happiness out of those small things. Okay, enjoy the present moment. This is probably one of the most important. I don't say the most important, I say one of the most important. Usually the people do not realize it, that's why I say that is one of the most important. Enjoy the present moment. What is written here, just only a one sentence. You see, most of the things we generally get stressed about, okay, have either happened in the past or are anticipated in the future. So what is written here is that usually we are stressed because of the past which has already happened. Okay, and we are worried about the future, that what will happen in the future. So usually what happens is that we think of the past or we worry about the future, we never live in the present. So this is probably one of the biggest mistake that we do, okay, in general. So this point simply emphasize that what has happened. You have no control over it. Okay, and what will happen in the future will happen. You have a very little control over it, and you rather do not know what will happen. Okay, only the present is there with you. So enjoy the present moment. Don't worry for the past or for the future. Be flexible. Okay, flexibility denotes life. Okay, everyone knows it very well. Change change and the movement are life. So basically the change and the movement, that is the life. Okay, as long as we are flexible, we go through the life with a greater ease, are happier and live more fully. So if we become very rigid, okay, if we become stubborn, then more and more troubles and problems will come to us. Because if you are not when we say that I am stubborn, okay, and I am rigid, means basically I am not able to uh, visualize the things, and I do not accept what is there. Rather I want to change something, that okay, it should be in this way and I want it to be in this way, and I will change it in this way, something like this. Okay, so most of the time it doesn't work. Rather I will say that usually it doesn't work. Okay, so we should be flexible, and obviously the flexibility defines basically the life. Because in a Hindi there is a very common saying कि जो झुकते नहीं हैं वो टूट जाते हैं. Okay, so we all know it very well. So take a break. So taking a break to enjoy what we have is a good way to come out of the stress that could be bothering and holding us in its grip. Okay, so simply what is written here is that occasionally we should take the break also, so that we go out of our dull or the boring routine, and it works as a very good stress buster. And that is why you will see that we go for the we go to foreign or maybe to some other place in the vacations, we go to the hill stations to see or something else. All these basically this we want a break from our work, just simply because it works a stress buster. So break is also a very important thing. It's a very good stress buster. Be open to reason. Having a reasonable mind is a prerequisite for the life free of stress. Okay, our ability to reason and alter our thinking for our betterment is the greatest human asset we have, but somehow we are reluctant to make use of it. Okay, so what's written here is that we should be reasonable. Okay, and we should be mind should be having a reasonable mind is a prerequisite. So if we are reasonable, so it's a prerequisite that we should our life should be free of stress basically. So if we are reasonable means basically we are understandable, we understand the things. Okay, then it will give us ability to cope up with the situations in a better way. So that is why it's a very good stress buster. We should be open to the reasoning. Our ability to reason and alter our thinking for our betterment is the greatest human asset. So just this line is important. Be comfortable not knowing all. This is also a very good point. An important step towards inner peace and calm is admitting the fact that we simply do not and cannot know all. Okay, so usually the people think, oh, this is not known to me, this is not known to me. Obviously no one is in this world such a person that he or she knows everything. Okay, or perfect in terms of the knowledge. Okay, so no one can know each and everything. So if you do not know something, you need not to feel ashamed because of it. You can learn it anytime in your life. So life has a big span. So obviously provided you are in the constant learning or you in the habit of learning, obviously. So if you are positive, then obviously you can learn it anytime whenever you want and you have the time. So if you do not know, do not worry. And this gives us basically the inner peace. This is very, very much important for the inner peace, and no one knows everything perfectly. Never argue. Okay, so you should be able to differentiate between the argue and the discussion. Okay, there is a difference in the argument in the discussion. The discussion means it's always used in a positive sense, that the people are discussing on some topic positively, okay, to come out to a conclusion or to know something. Okay, but when we use the word argue, so the argue is always used basically in the negative sense. So that is what I have written here, that the never argue. I don't say don't discuss. Discuss as much as possible, but never argue. So what is this basically? We argue when we want to make a point, when we want to be right and prove that the other person is wrong, when we wrongly believe that it is our duty to correct the other people and show them the right path. Okay, this is basically a negativity. So the argument creates basically the negativity, and it shows that you look down the other people, you look the other down, you look the other people down. Okay, you think that he is inferior and you are superior, and that is basically the real cause of the problem. And obviously it will bring bitterness in you as well as the other person also, and you both will be in stress. Forgive and forget. Okay, this is also a very important point. If we want a life free of stress, we have to forgive and forget and let go of all the anger and resentment from our heart. Unless we are at peace, we cannot be the stress free. So it's simply for our inner peace, it is necessary that we should not put the anger, grief, and a lot of bad things in our heart. Okay, the more pure our heart is, the more it will be at the peace, and more our life will be at the peace. So for that, what we have to learn is, we have to learn the forgive and the forget. So if someone does a small mistake which you can forgive, you should forgive, and you should also forget it, because if you always remember, it will give you a stress. So forgive and the forget, these two are the most important things for the inner peace. keep busy, make a positive contribution. So the best way to get rid of stress is to involve in a meaningful work. We cannot get stressed or depressed this way. Simple meaning is that if we are into a worthwhile work, in a meaningful work, then we cannot get stressed or depressed. So when I say the meaningful work or the worthwhile work, the meaning is that it is useful to you as well as to the others also in the society, or maybe few people, those who are near you or those who are dependent on you. Okay, so worthwhile or the meaningful work means which gives happiness to you and it is useful to others also in the society. Be thankful for something in life every day. A good way to relieve stress is to be thankful for what we have. Start your day by thanking and do the same before going to the bed at night. So, this point may be controversial for some. Someone may say that I do not believe in God, but here also I am not saying that we should be thankful to the God. I simply say that we should be thankful for whatever is available to us or whatever we have. Okay, I don't say that thanks to the God. Okay, if you believe in the God, you thank to the God, and it will work as a very good stress buster. So if we are thankful, so it gives basically it brings basically the humbleness into the person. And if the person is humble, the humbleness is basically related to the cool and calm. It means he is cool and calm. So it means he is forgiving he is basically shading away the stress. Okay, or stress is just going away. Fill your life with love. We all we have all experienced times when we were tense and depressed, and a kind gesture from a loved one was that all we needed to come out of our gloom. The desire to, okay, it should have been love actually. The desire to love and be loved is the strongest human need. So, this is basically the same point which was written few slides earlier also. If you just remember the topic, sorry, the title was a good network, okay, or a good connect. So it's basically a strong human desire to love and be loved. So when we are with our loved persons, we feel very happy. Okay, so fill your life with the love. It will de-stress you. Count your blessings. The ability to enjoy what we have is a great way to negate stress. The first and foremost requirement of a stress free life is to be happy and contented our life and ourselves. Okay, so do not always think a lot about possessing what you do not have, that how I will possess it, but rather whatever you possess or whatever you have, enjoy that basically. Okay, and be grateful for that. So count your blessings. So it's a very good stress buster. Never let moods pull you down. Our moods are what we make them to be. Think happy thoughts and we will be happy. Think depressing thoughts and we will feel depressed. So never allow the mood to control you, but rather you should control your mood, because the type of the thinking you will have, the type of the feeling you will be generating yourself. If you think negative, negativity will be in you. If you think positive, the positivity will enter into you. So never let the mood pull you down. This is the last slide, don't worry. Time management. Okay, probably one more slide is there. No, this is the last one. So time management. All of us come into this world for a certain length of time. We can live it to our satisfaction or waste it and be sorry. Time is one thing, once lost, can never be brought back. Okay, so time is very important and we should learn about the time management. And there is a very common saying that the time is money. But there are a lot of ways in which you can interpret this sentence, the time is money. One negative way of interpretation of the time is money is that the person is always just hooking towards the money, that how to bring more money, how to fetch money, how to earn money, etc. So money is not life. There is, this is a one sense. And the another sense is saying that the time is money, means the money is very important. So I go basically by the second interpretation, that time is very important, and we should learn that how we manage our time. When I say manage our time, I don't mean to say that we should go for the multitasking. Rather, I believe in the other way, that the multitasking is not going to solve any purpose, and rather we do not enjoy anything. If we do the things one by one, we will enjoy. For example, if I'm eating and I'm seeing the TV also, so neither I am enjoying my food nor I am enjoying the TV perfectly. It is better if I see the TV first and then I take my food, or if I take my food and then I see the TV, then I will be able to enjoy both. Okay. So multitasking is always good. It's not so, and at least I don't believe in this, that multitasking is very good. Be optimistic. Being optimistic is to have hope. Okay, to believe that this world is a good place, and we will be able to what we set out to do. When we believe in the best, we become confident. And when we become confident, we become energetic and enthusiastic. And when we become energetic and enthusiastic, we cannot be stressed and depressed. Okay. So, optimistic view of anything, rather, I will say towards life, is really a very big thing. So, if we are optimistic, so a lot of positive things it gives us in our life, and we are free of the stress and the depression. Do not let criticism bother you. To be able to live a life free of stress, we have to be comfortable with the fact that no matter how much we may try, we will never be able to stay away from some criticism or the other. So, if the criticism is positive, if we can take it in a positive way and we can mend our ways, then obviously it is very good. But if the criticism is such that it is not going to help you in any way, then you better do not just uh, think about it. Okay, just leave it as if you have never heard of it. Okay, because otherwise it will just give stress to you, nothing else. Okay, and it is also true that however hard or how much hard you work in this world, or whatever you do, there will be some people, those who will not like you. And usually I have seen that it happens because of no reason. There is no reason, but some people will always oppose you, they will always criticize you, they will always look down upon you, and they will try to put you down on any matter. Okay, but you need not to worry for all these things. Okay, and you should learn that the criticism should not bother you, and you just involve in your positive work, and obviously those people will someday realize it, and they will mend their way. And if they do not mend their way, it will be a stress to them, and they will make their life hell instead of your life. Okay. Have faith in unknown. The uncertainty of the future is a reality and mystery that can never be unfolded. However, the people squander a lot of their precious time and the effort in trying to figure out what is destined to take place in their lives, and are constantly stressed by it. It's again more or less the same thing, that you do not worry for the future. Okay, live in the in the present. Okay, and enjoy the life, and have faith in unknown. Do not worry too much for the unknown, that what will happen in the future to me, what will happen this, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen, because it is unknown. So we are always worried. So never think what will happen. You just see, or you just ensure that what best you can give to the present, and the future will always be bright. Okay. So these are some practical advice from my side. Okay. Obviously, not everything is from my side. I have taken a lot of things from different places. So I have written it here in the last slide, that most of this material has come from these two things. Okay, so if you want the things in more detail, you can just visit, you can visit this site, or you can go this book. So this book is by the Mridula Agrawal, De-Stress Yourself. This is the publisher, Full Circle. It was published in 2007. And Mridula Agrawal is a very good author. She is very well known for such type of the motivational books. And she is a motivational speaker also. And this is a URL. You can go and you can read this: stress symptoms, signs, and the causes. So material has been taken, most of the material has been taken from these two sources. So if you have some question, if you want some discussion on any of the topic, or if you want to share your experiences with me, you are most welcome. Yes, anyone? Because today's topic was such that I cannot say that you please ask the questions, because it's not a mathematics or something where I can ask the question reply. It's basically sharing information and sharing basically the thoughts or the perception towards the life and something. So sharing obviously will uh, give some more knowledge to me and to other participants also. So if you want to share
Can
something,
you
you are
comment on
welcome.
multitasking?
About multitasking.
Can
So
you comment on multitasking and stress?
you mean to say that you believe in multitasking or what?
Uh, Women are usually born for multitasking. They usually do multitasking. Does it increase the stress, or because that helps in reducing the completing the work in shorter time? But whether multitasking should be done or should not be done? What
uh,
is your
as
opinion?
as I told you earlier also when I was discussing that point, so I said that I don't believe in multitasking, because what happens is that multitasking does not give us a lot of benefits. Rather, it gives us stress, because usually what happens is that we concentrate on one topic, and then we just suddenly change our mood and we concentrate on the another topic, and the two topics which we are taking simultaneously may be completely different. So there is a very abrupt or the sudden context switching of our mind. Okay, so it gives basically a stress. So in this process what happens, that we do not enjoy any of the tasks. If suppose I have the two tasks, so I will say that I do not enjoy any of these two tasks. And if multi means a lot many, then we do not enjoy any task. So if I say that if I do them one by one, probably I will be able to complete my work in almost similar time with enjoyment, and there will not be a sudden context changes of my body as well as the mind also. So I will be rather more cool and calm. So I believe basically in this fact, and it's my experience also, that multitasking does not solve my problems. And I go basically in a normal work, that first complete one thing, then you take up the second work and then complete and enjoy the work. So I feel that instead of the multitasking, normal working routine helps me in a much better way. But maybe for some cases it's okay, and maybe in some cases it's necessary also, you are helpless. So there are some cases where you are helpless, then obviously you will have to go for the multitasking. There is no way for something like, especially in the morning, and for the ladies, she has to prepare for a job, prepare and go to the job, and at the same time she has to prepare child also for the school, and husband is also there looking after for something so that he can go to the job. So resources are less and a lot of task is there. So in such type of the scenario, probably the multitasking cannot be avoided. But in general, if you avoid the multitasking, you will enjoy the job more, and you will be able to put more effort into the work, and probably because of this reason the output also will be more better. That's what I feel.
Thanks a lot.
Anyone else? Rather, I will be happy if you share your experiences. Anyone?
Thanks a lot, sir. This is really a worthy session, sir. Apart from subjects, learning, teaching, growing up the kids, and managing household things, all these are very stress management is very helpful for us for maintaining
Definitely,
all
we
these things.
definitely we all have to do every time, because nowadays the life has become so tough that always we have to optimize our processes and everything. So always we have to think of that how we can do it in a better way, and we want basically more and more output in a lesser time. So we are in a stress. Because of this reason, obviously we should know that what gives us stress, how much stress I can bear, how much stress is really good for me and my growth, and what I have to avoid, what is not helping me, but rather what is bothering me. So how I can avoid which is bothering me. So obviously we all need to learn all these things, and whatever I discussed today, I think nothing was new. Everything, all of you must be knowing few things of it. The only thing which I have done is that I have put everything at one place so that you can ponder over it. Anyone?
Sir, stress management meditation is one of the good option. And
Obviously.
from today, Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji has started a 21 days challenge for meditation. So it will be
Okay.
7:30 to 8:30 live on YouTube. If anyone wants to
On
join, can
YouTube.
join.
Okay. Okay.
On
Thank you.
YouTube, yes. It
Okay.
is
Thanks
live
for
21 days challenge and today is the first day. So
today is the first.
7:30 to 8:30 it will be there. If yes, sir. So if
Okay.
anyone
Okay.
wants to join, can join. And I feel that meditation is a very good way of stress management.
Definitely, I will just go through it and I will search it on the YouTube. Don't
Yes,
worry.
sir.
And 7:30
Yeah,
to
you just give
8:30.
21 days challenge. Yes, sir.
Huh,
Yes,
huh,
yes.
huh, I know.
Today
I
is
will
the
write.
7:30.
I thought I will write Sadhguru 21-day challenge and it will give me the result. So I will do the
Sri,
same.
SRI is the Sri Ravi Shankar. 21 days
Okay,
challenge
okay,
meditation.
not Sadhguru, Sri Ravi Shankar, Bangalore. Okay, 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 okay.
Ha,
Earlier I thought you were talking of
SRI,
Sadhguru.
Sri Ravi
Okay,
Shankar.
okay, okay. Sri Ravi Shankar.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I will just search it
Ha,
21
yes.
days challenge and I will just
Yes, sir.
listen
Yes,
to
yes.
it. Definitely, it will be too good.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes.
And
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
thanks
Thank
for
you.
the information.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, okay. So I'm just logging off. So good evening to everybody.
Thank you
And
so much for sharing your knowledge about this stress management. I means now I realize how important this session was to keep in this ongoing means in these FDP means we should
okay,
have one session on this. Every time
like
whenever we are conducting it should be there. And thank you so much Anjali ji for sharing your information also. So I'm also going to
no,
look.
but I do not know how much effective I
Please,
was,
please.
because this is not my expertise. Basically, I'm a person of computer science. So out of curiosity, I read such articles. So I collected those articles and I just made basically slides. So I do not know how much useful it was for all.
From response we can see it.
Okay.
Each and every slider was very important. If we can imbibe it, so it's going to be very much helpful.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, so for accepting our invitation and being a part of this FDP. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I wish a very good luck to all of you. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you, sir. So hope you all are able to enjoy this session. And just
Hello, madam.
Yes, madam.
Mad
yes, yes, yes.
Madam, tomorrow when the exam is going to start, madam, time at what time?
Time is 12:15 and it's going to start from 12:15 to 12:45. It's going to be around 30 minutes. All the things I have already mentioned in your schedule. So just go through your schedule. At the bottom you will see when what is the time for your feedback, what is the time for your validatory, what is the time for your exam. All the things I have mentioned in your this Google sorry, in your schedule.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other in any other, like most of you are asking about the PPT. Like I haven't received the PPT for some of the session. As soon as I received it, I will going to upload it. And this is the case once I am not having
Madam,
the
at least if you could
this.
share videos will be sufficient. Get it from videos you must have got videos in your email box.
Yes,
So
yes,
if
yes.
you could share
Basically,
that those
just
videos, then also sufficient.
okay, just I have also mentioned means I have also posted a link. Just go to your announcement tab. There you will find a link. So in this is the link for your Google Drive. In Google Drive, I'm going to upload it this all the videos. So from there you can get it.
No, if you could do it today, especially yesterday's optimization, today morning's optimization lecture. Uh,
Yes.
that is, uh, so all these things, whatever is required for our test, maybe those videos, if they are there, then we can go through that.
Okay, fine, fine. I will try to upload all the things by today. Yes, surely I will do
Hi,
Yes,
that.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
yes,
Most.
ma'am. Only two videos are available in Google Drive. We have downloaded that one. So please you update all these things, so
Yes,
that
yes,
will
yes.
be
I will
helpful for us.
update it. All the things I am going to update it by today.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, most welcome. Any other questions are there, or can we log off if there is no question?
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
queries questions are from lectures only or other syllabus? From other syllabus we need to prefer.
I'm not getting what you are asking.
The syllabus questions, madam. Queries are from lectures, sir. Lectures till now. From 4 days onwards, they were giving now, madam. From there onwards, you use it to give the questions, or shall we need to
Whatever
prepare from
whatever the
the
things we have covered means the syllabus is going to be 29 to the 1st of September, because uh, firstly you are not able to revise the things which are going to be covered tomorrow. So that's
Yes,
what
yes,
I'm thinking,
madam.
like it's
That's
going to
what.
be
That's why
29
I'm
to the
asking.
first only. You are because you are not able to cover the things now. You are not
Yes,
able to
madam.
revise it. You are not going to get time to revise it. So I will set the question accordingly. So thank you so much for bringing this in our notice.
Please share the videos as
Yes, yes,
early as
yes.
possible.
I'm going to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Any other thing? Okay, so as we are not having any questions, so we can log off. So so let's meet tomorrow at the same time from 10 to 12 when you 10 to 12 even. Only one session, only two session are there in your first half. One will be from 10 to 11, that will be taken by Dr. Harish Sharma, and consecutively we will have the another session, and that will be taken by Professor Kusumdi. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow. Good day.